welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie and Co-Estate Agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We're cooking.
We are actually cooking.
All right, let me immediately drop the link in the chat for all of you.
We've already got someone in.
And who else would it be but
Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Everywhere they go.
Tottenham get battered.
he's just putting his onesie on, so I'll bring him on camera in a second.
What a result, though. What a result.
Do you know what? Straight up there, the top three, everyone played amazing. No one played bad. There was no one that played like terrible or anything. Man at match, I think Mendy. Mendy was excellent. I mean, his goal was something else, but it was before he came off. Obviously, it was excellent. Not far so.
Not excellent. Excellent.
Oh, for a fantastic performance from Mendy. Not so far off. I would say Nacho straight up behind him. We know 2 assists again. 2 assists and a goal again from Nacho. You know,
he's on fire.
Pardon?
He's on fire.
He is. Nacho's on fire, just like these Doritos.
Remember when?
Spicy, that's why.
It was about 3 seasons ago where Iheanacho was like one of the best strikers in Europe in the last half of our season. He got like a goal every game or something silly like that.
Yeah, 100%. You know, and a Christensen again, he was fantastic as well. Absolutely brilliant. They all were. There was no. I mean, obviously, it was unfortunate that goal was offside, but at least it got one in the end. Harvey Barnes. You know, and you know what's something great now? Now it's full time. Harry Kane didn't score. Thank goodness for that.
There was so much like mojo and precedent for this match that just didn't end up coming through. It's like we were known for crumbling against Tottenham. Tottenham love a goal against us, and the only goal they got was like pretty cheap and a narrow offside call. We played so well today that I dare say like it was better than the Villa match. Like this might be match of the season so far for me.
I think it's the way that, you know, we won 1-0 down again. Oh no, here we go. Could it be some happening again? And it reminded me of last week. Obviously, we scored 4 again this week, and same as last week. And I'm obviously, to be honest, looking at both matches, you'd think that Villa would be in the top 6 and not Tottenham, because Villa played a lot better than Tottenham. Let's be honest. I was there at Villa Park. And
now to give some deference to Tottenham as well, they were a few players short, but I always say that you beat the team that are in front of you, and this was still a Tottenham team that had Kulusevski, Kane, Son, Højbjerg, like good players, and we made them look like fools.
Well, at the end of the day, they brag about they beat Man City last week. Yeah, well done to them. They beat Man City, you know, a team that could be getting relegated, all this freak stuff. But end of the day, though, my dad's watching his screenshot of me. I've just seen a screenshot come through my phone. So end of the day, though, you play what's in front of you. We've had a lot of injuries too, you know, and obviously now the best part about it, we've got two wins in a row now, going into Manchester United next Sunday. And bearing in mind, Man U, bar that game over there against Leeds, they've not. I don't think they've lost at Old Trafford since August. They've not lost it. Yeah, it
will be a tough game, but they're also a team that's very inconsistent. And if we have now started to set a precedent with these 2 games, if we can keep that energy level and keep that hunger through our training sessions this week, I feel really good about that coming match.
I think the changing room's changed ever since we've got those new players in. There's a cloud has been, you know, it's like you feel like a release. You know, it's been like a breath of fresh air with the club. It's not stagnant, and what we have now is a team that wants to fight. And I'm happy Tielemans didn't play, and I'm happy we won because it shows that we don't need someone who doesn't want to play for the club to win.
Sorry, can I just interrupt a second? Can you bring that comment back from Nick Moore? That's incorrect because we beat him back in 2021 when we beat him 2-1 and Man City won the Premier League because it was the week after. It was 3 days before we won the FA Cup.
For some reason, I thought that 2-1 win was the KP though, because I think I thought I remember playing in pink that
because it was Luke Thomas volley. They equalised with a player I'm not going to mention, and then Soyuncu scored the winner.
No, fair enough. For some reason, I remember that being at the KP.
I remember because I was watching it here, and I just remember when it was 2-1. I thought, oh no, we're 2-1 up, brilliant. And then they were pressing like final whistle went. Man City won the title, and then we won that, and then we won. Oh no, I think we won the. I think we played them after the FA Cup final. I think something like that. But anyway, we beat him away.
Either way, even if this was the case, I believe it was Erik ten Hag himself who said that all eras must come to an end.
No, it wasn't KP, Nick. It was definitely Old Trafford because remember it was in front of no crowds.
All right, I'm going to add in a couple other folks who have clicked on as well. So Brett, I'm going to add you in, and Ben, if you're ready, I'm going to add you in as well.
Oh, he's off already, and with pint in hand.
That's a bar.
A bit dark here. How are you, lads? You all right?
We're good, Ben. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Benjamin.
Jack will turn the corner then, because it looks like now with what's happening with Top, obviously, sort out a debt problem, and obviously, and the three newbies, it looks like we're actually turning the corner.
It really, because I talked a lot when we were in the slump that like I always believe, because we know what class we have in this squad, that so much of it comes down to mentality. And those fresh faces, the ability for these players to be playing in their natural positions again, everyone on that pitch looked hungrier, looked angrier at points, and like more determined to win balls back, play balls forward. Like that was a Nacho that we haven't seen, barring Aston Villa, for a long time. That was a KDH that was like firing on all cylinders when out of possession. His passing could still use a bit of work, but Castagna, similarly, like he seemed hungrier, and we saw like Mendy chasing down players with a pace that frankly I don't think I've ever seen from him before. So there's just so much across the board from this squad that just everyone firing on all cylinders, and I really feel like there's a lot of good in store for us.
Elijah, can jump in a sec? Elijah, just jump in a sec. I said for a while that Nacho is a confidence player. He needs to run the games. If you give him a run of games, you will get him scoring. He's a confidence player.
But he's not just setting up goals. He's not just scoring goals, though. He's setting up
assisting
goals.
them as well.
In the last 3 games in all competitions, he's scored 3 goals and 4 assists. Obviously that including the Walsall game. But I'm saying, it's just fantastic from Nacho. A comment's just come up from Chris Hallam. Yes. Yeah. What ovation Ricardo got. Ricardo,
new signing.
He's back.
That's like a new signing, isn't it? Because he's not been on all season.
He's not playing since May last year. So
that's like a new signing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great to see him back. And obviously, yeah, I think for next week, obviously, Man U away. I'm handing off in a second anyway, but Man U away, same team as unless any injuries, same team as this week. Just keep going again. We're obviously away from 2:00 kickoff, so hopefully we can improve. Old Trafford, yeah, it's going to be a tough game. I'd be happy we take a point, but after these 2 games, why not go for the win?
Why can't we win? There's no reason why we can't.
Exactly. I always say that. At the end of the day, this is why I love the Premier League. Last week, Everton beat Arsenal 1-0. Obviously, Leeds the other day drew to Man U. I mean, it's not hard to beat Tottenham anyway, but obviously the big club beat the small club today. So I just feel with the Premier League, anything can happen. So we could go to Old Trafford and win 3-0.
I want to give Brett a chance to weigh in a little bit.
Well, I'm showing off anyway, boys. Anyway, so
cheers, Ross.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot an old. Right. Cheers, I'll see you in a bit.
Right.
Cheers, Ben. Cheers, Ross.
What do you think of the game, Brett? Who was your man of the match, and what do you think of the game?
Well, man of the match. There was a few to choose from. I think today. I think Mendy was probably, for me, one of the players that absolutely shone today. It was so great to see him getting about. He broke up the play. Who saw that goal coming from him? I'm like, I certainly, I think for the amount of time he's been here, I didn't see the goal coming. A goal like that coming from him. His technique, ability to finish like that. I think I'd go with Mendy. I think for man of the match. There's so many others though that were sort of like in there. I mean, Nacho for sure. Maddison was so across the board. I think everyone said it already. Really, it was nice to see confidence in the team. And I think the aggression that seems to we had this aggression years and years ago. And it's been there throughout, but this season it just seems to have sort of like dissipated. And I think that's been with the confidence. And I think today, I think that the Walsall, I think the Aston Villa game, I think, that the way that the new players have integrated straight away. I mean, Suter, you wouldn't pick him out as a player who's just walked into the team. He's just performing, really, really well. His leadership at the back, and I think it's all just starting to gel. I mean, Danny Ward, that ball he came and collected from out and above, came and collected. It was a hard ball for him to collect. I think they said on the commentary was because I was watching it on Now Sports Hong Kong, I think, on an illegal stream. They said a couple of months ago, Danny Ward wouldn't have come and got that ball. He wouldn't even have thought about it. But today, even he looked confident. And, he came and collected it. He had an authority about him today. And I think, the new signings they've given us that, everyone talks about a new manager bounce. I think those 3 signings have just given us a real uplift in the whole squad. And I think it's, I think this is, as everyone's kind of saying, I think we're all hoping deep down, this is where we now push on from. It was good to see, Vardy's come on, he's put himself about. Bit of a shame he didn't quite manage to get a 5th goal. That would have been a sort of icing on the cake, I think. But yeah, I think there's a lot to think about. Say, on the other side, I think we're still, you look at some of the misplaced passes and some of the little mistakes that are still there. There's work to do. I think Brendan will probably be saying that there's. We made some mistakes at times today. We perhaps could have done some things in some areas slightly better. But, hey, what a step forward. What a step forward. And even better, Forest as well. What a result for that Forest picked up today as well. That puts the really icing on the cake for me.
First team in the East Midlands again. We're back.
That's it.
Well, Villa's still above us in the league, so let's get carried away. So, overall, this game was phenomenal, we won. I don't want to get carried away and say, we're going to win every game from now on, because we're not going to expect to, but it's a massive push in the right direction. And, I think Brendan, now he's got the players he has got, is showing what he wanted to do since in the summer, because he wanted to get a winger. We didn't sign it. We signed one player. I can't remember that there was now. With Fars, because Fafana went. We had Madison on the right, and then now Madison's in his own position. We've been in those 2 games. We've been unreal.
We do look a lot more balanced, I think, now, don't we?
Yeah.
I think it's interesting as well. Is first half Tete's. I think perhaps Spurs concentrated a little bit on Tete and left the left side open a bit more. So I think previously this season, I think that's been our problem. As you say, Rodgers has been looking for that right-hand side to get us a balance. And I think, we've got that now. So now actually we can attack down both flanks, whereas I think before, very left-hand sided. And even today, because of the threat on the right, actually it helped us. And, when we did switch onto the right-hand side, we still had we were still then able then to switch and actually move it around a bit more, which, as you say, I think that's what Rodgers has been trying to get to for a while, but hasn't quite had the personnel to do it.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, that the new signings that we've been bringing in, because it not only helps freshen those positions, but I think you're totally right that it then lets those players who we've been playing out of position for so long feel themselves again. I think Madison is a great example of that we had lost so much in the center of the pitch that we couldn't just rely on Tielemans alone to give us that creativity that Madison does in the center of the pitch. But now that we finally brought him in from the wing, we have a natural winger on that. It gives us that creativity in the center, and it also gives us more ability to have our fullbacks sit back and defend more. And we've looked at a little bit more solid in midfield and defense when out of possession as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, the energy of KDH in the midfield was a key part of that today. And the energy of Mendy as well. They worked tirelessly really to kind of get back, fill those holes. Castagna, Christensen, he looks some player. I think there's a lot more to come from him, but he really does look like an absolutely fantastic acquisition. He really does. I'm quite excited with it, with the, with how he's coming on. And I think, again, I think someone said it a minute ago, I think it was Ross, what a great positive to see Ricky get back on the pitch today as well. And okay, playing a bit further up the field, but just to get those legs on, and he looked hungry for it as well, to be fair, as soon as he came on, didn't he?
Yeah. And I think it was, I think, Jono, you were the one that mentioned it. If Tete were to get injured during his loan spell, having Ricky P back means that we can still have somebody who can play more naturally in that winger position. We won't have to be pulling apart our midfield again.
It was aimed at me.
Well, yeah, sorry. That was just continuing along the point of having players who can play more naturally in their positions, and it being good to have Ricky P back. It gives us that depth in the wing that we were worried about when we let Mark Albright and even Jose Perez to an extent go out on loan.
No, I think Perez will sign a deal to go because, to be honest, with the way Brendan plays, Perez does not fit into our system. Tete does get injured, yes. Ricardo can fit in there because at the moment I'm not dropping Christensen on the left wing. No chance for dropping him. Castagna on the right back. Maybe you could rotate between Ricardo and Castagna for the right back, but Christensen sticks left back. So if maybe we can rotate Ricardo right wing or right back, but at the moment this team is flowing. Suter in the centre back, compared to Amati, you just have that reassurance that ball's not going to go past that back line with a silly mistake. If it goes past it because it's a good ball or good run, it's not from a silly mistake, which Daniel Amati is very, very prone to.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm kind of hoping that really, we'll see Ricky P kind of coming in that sort of right wing position a bit more now, really, vice Tete. I think, one of the key things we need to try and do is keep the back four now solid. If we can keep that solid now, like you say, if a ball's going to go through, if there's going to be a goal, then I think there's now an expectation it's going to be a good ball. It's going to be, it's not generally going to come from a mistake from that back four. I think today they were, few, if not minimal, mistakes between all of them. I think they're getting that confidence, they're getting that understanding. I think that's definitely something that Brendan's got to look to build on for sure. I think Ricky P back in the squad gives us some options. Luckily, depends which way you look at it. We haven't got a fixture pile up at the moment, so I think we should be able to keep building now on that back four and keep building the solidity now that I think we need to go. I'd say actually a back five because include Ward in that as well. Actually, he's starting to get to know now those centre backs in front of him, so hopefully his confidence is going to start to grow with that as well.
I would still have to say we need a goalkeeper in the summer. I know Ward's improved. I know he had a good run before the World Cup, but I want a goalkeeper who doesn't have those massive mistakes in them. Like, I want a keeper that can, I don't know, I think Danny Ward it's like a Daniel Amati. On his day, he can be really, really good, but I want a keeper that's more consistent than him.
Yeah, agree. I think for all the times he was number 2, and he was coming, and he did some really good things in lots of the cup games, and there was always that confidence that we had a good number 2. I think he's a number 2. I think he's a bit like Amartey. Danny Amartey is a squad player. He's someone that you throw in now and again, not as a regular first team starter for me. And I completely agree with you, John. I think that's the area that we've really got to focus on for the summer for sure. Yeah. I think get through to the end of the season. Obviously, stay up. To be fair, looking at the league table at the moment, it's looking promising. We've got some. There's a little bit of a breath. I think not a breathing room yet. We can take a small breath between us and the bottom bits at the moment. But obviously some of the results, are going our way above us. So, we can hopefully kind of make a bit of progression up. I think if we can get into the top 10, that will be a good end for us for the season for sure. Obviously a cup run, go back and if we can do well in the cup, who wouldn't say no to another cup run and another day out at Wembley? That would be a fantastic end of the season, but a lot of work to do, long way to go, and I think realistically it's going to be a battle, and we've all got to be really in there for the battle. And it looks like the players are actually there. I know that there was a interesting, there's some people before were saying that perhaps Rodgers had lost the dressing room. I think today shows, and the last couple of games shows that really, they're all there fighting for him. And actually, maybe we've done the right thing keeping hold of him. It can be a gamble getting rid of managers at times. And I think, Dyche has had a great impact. Well, one game. Let's remember it. It's one game only at Everton. His one game at Everton has gone really well, but it's still a gamble. Will he get the tune out of the players for the remainder of the season? Yet to be proven and seen. But, I think we're looking, I feel confident at the moment. I feel optimistic at the moment with Rodgers. I think he's, like you say, I think the owners seem to have backed him, and we seem to have got players in that he wanted, and performances have come with it. So yeah, I think we're certainly this Saturday night should be definitely feeling in a really good place. If nothing else, I'm looking forward to watching Match of the Day a few times.
Yes, definitely. So I think we'll wrap it up there, Elijah. Yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Yep.
Wrap it there. Before we go, obviously I didn't watch the match. I didn't watch much of the match, so I can't comment my man of the match and why, because I can't justify why I said it. So I'll ask you, Elijah, then Brett, your man of the match, quickly, and your result for Manchester United next week. You go first, Elijah.
Papi Mendy, 3-2 to Leicester City.
I'll go Papi Mendy for me as well, and I'm going to go 2-1 Leicester.
Brilliant. So thank you, Brett, for coming on. Really good insight, really good comments there from you, Brett. So thank you for coming on. Really, really, really appreciate it.
Always, guys. Pleasure.
So, Elijah, you close down the show.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us. What a cracking result we've had. And we'll obviously be hoping to see you all next week as we play Manchester United. But even before that, we've got lots of shows coming in all through the week. If you've enjoyed the watch along, if you've enjoyed the post match, give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe, helps us grow the channel. And we will see you all next time.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everard's, Pucka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hologram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newbie & Co. Estate Agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.